Yo, what's up? It's your boy Sino here, and we're gonna talk about all of this that's been going on, man. It's been crazy. I was sitting over here trying to go live, and they wouldn't let me go live. I'm like, man, what is going on around here? Yeah, it's been a mess. When you deal with unsavory characters, you're dealing with people who are not what we call manly. They don't hold themselves to a standard that they should. Dame Dash appearance on the Breakfast Club was very revealing because, and if you're on my Patreon, which is Carcino for Life, we will break down what's really going on with Dame Dash. Okay? We're going to break that down for y'all so y'all would be in the know. Y'all will have some form of understanding. Hit the like button up. Hit the like button up coming through the door so they can know you're not a bot. We don't do bots, we do people. Pause. Yeah, so on the Patreon, I'm gonna tell you why Dame Dash is the way he is. A lot of people don't know that. We got to go back to his family history. We're gonna do that on the Patreon. Now, let's assess what happened. Dame Dash came there and was trying to explain to them, because I don't watch the Breakfast Club every day, but I do see the clips whenever there's something with Dame Dash. They go all in, they clown Dame, saying, "Oh, Dame's broke. He talked all this about business and all that." And I was like, "Yeah, Dame, that do sound a little, chatty patty. Now you got a network doing it." He was like, "Don't be a chatty patty." So he came up there to explain why he was doing things. But they was there to have a salacious interview. Charlamagne was there to poke the buttons. And they were playing good cop, bad cop the whole time. And Dame is somebody who can't control himself. He's trying. That was the most reserved I probably have seen Dame Dash. I mean, if this was anywhere else in an office or whatever, Charlamagne would have probably had a bottle bust over his head. That's I'm just saying. Dame Dash is somebody that is trying to remain calm in this setting because he's triggering him and trying to trigger him. He knows what he's doing. It's just that it was working because he's being pissed off because he cannot explain his point. Now, they just had their biggest interview in probably the last, I don't know, probably 2 years for the Breakfast Club. They hadn't had an interview this big in 2 years. And it was Dame Dash. Now, yeah, it was media tactics, but having him up there brought a whole new light to the situation. Now, let's get to the start. Now, getting into the start of these problems was very key for a lot of people because Dame Dash brought a lot of information to people back in the day and got a lot of people deals they didn't even know how to get to. He was the first rapper or producer to have his own liquor deal with Armadale Vodka. So to be able to do that, you have to sit down and you have to negotiate. with these people from overseas. This is how Jay learned or saw, like, hey, this is an avenue that I could use. So all his Ace of Spades, vodka, and all this, he basically learned from Dash. The clothing line, Rockaware, which he wanted no parts of, he learned from Dash. All right. So let's get ready to get into the Breakfast Club thing. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Oh, yeah. Now, as you can see, Dame went on the Breakfast Club to do his thing. Now, today they made a whole thing about, let's make a clip, because Dame was so popping on there. They wanted to go ahead and make a clip of everything he did. And that was good by the thumbnail guy. They took the right shot of Dame when he did that pose. They got the right photo for the thumbnail to try to make him look silly on the show, right? There are 1.6 million, as you can see right here, right? Now, did they ever tell you about all of the things Dame was going to talk about? No. Why wouldn't they do that? The first thing they wanted to talk about was this man being broke, right? And he just had bankruptcy. Because they sat there and tried to tear him down, and been doing that before he actually came up to the Breakfast Club. So he basically pointed them out and said, you guys have been doing a disservice to people, which is true. We've all said that. You guys have the information and you guys don't talk about that. You guys never printed that. You guys never said it. He brought up constant situations in which they never discussed. They don't research. They claim they research, but they don't talk about it on the show. So Charlamagne, you sit there like a court jester, like I've always called him. And they was like, man, you got to respect Charlamagne. I don't have to respect Charlamagne. I've never respected him. I never respected what he does. He's a clown. I've told people that from the jump. Now, what he told him is, hey, your OG is Wendy Williams. Wendy hired him. And then this man went and did some slimy things behind the scenes. But it's typical Charlamagne. This man finds out that the dude who used to help him out, right, when he was at the radio station, Wendy Williams' husband, helped the dog. He lived with them down there, stayed and had a room. They gave him room and board. And then you see that man handling his business, or he got another chick on the side, and you feel, let me go tell Wendy Williams? And you think that man was going to be okay with you for the rest of your life? No. That man going to have problems with you. You got in that man's business and got in his bedroom. Now, that tells me already it's not slanted, but let's get into what Dame was talking about. When they talked about Dame being broke, Dame talked about a family office. And instead of letting Dame educate the people on what he was talking about, is what they were saying about, oh, he's broke. And I'm like, he's getting ready to tell you about a family office. Let him cook. Because black folks need to learn this stuff. It's what I've been teaching y'all for years on the Patreon. You think rich people have houses in their names. They don't. You go right now and look up their houses. Who owned the house? You won't see it. It's in a family office. It's in a corporation. It's in some sort of business. My house is owned in a corporation. You won't see my name on it. You got a multi-family office, an MFO, or you got an SFO, which is that single family office. Now, not everybody can have a family office. You know, they have minimum requirements to be in that. You know, you got to have at least some real serious money to even have a family office. You got to be able to have 20 million, 30 million to be able to put into a family office that you could run it. And when people do that, is that it protects them against lawsuits. You ain't going to be able to sue the family office. Your personal assets is basically nothing. And everything is in a fund that can't be touched. That's wealth building. It's one of many different, IRA accounts. And this is how this game was created for the rich, by the rich. And that's it. Nobody else. This was their ball game to make sure they don't have to pay taxes on nothing. You do. When I talk about solo Roth, y'all don't even know what that is. Y'all heard of a Roth IRA. That's a basic thing they have for broke people. But when I start saying solo Roth, golden Roth account, y'all be like, what is that? Like he told you all about a family office. That's another one of the Roth accounts. These are things that I know the tax codes for. So I know about billionaire ball games because I go to these events and speak to billionaires to get that information. Exactly. My Patreon talk. We've had these talks on the Patreon, so it's not alien to y'all, but for the rest of the people that's following me on YouTube right now, they probably think I'm saying it because Dame Dash just said it. Oh, he heard Dame Dash say it. No, Dame Dash was getting ready to enlighten the people about it. And that would be interesting because now y'all all heard about Dame's broke and he don't got any money and y'all laughing at him when he has, once everything is approved, there'll be no debt. And then this one guy, as he said, his lawsuits has really been one guy going around suing him and repeatedly keep trying to sue him. And what Dame's going to do is reverse it back. He's going to reverse that back towards what I make a year is irrelevant. You know why it's irrelevant? What I make a year is irrelevant because what I make, I pay myself. So I decide what I want to pay myself. Do you understand what that means? So what I generate, it makes more than what I actually earn because I dictate how much I want to pay myself to keep myself in a tax bracket. So I decide what do I want to pay myself as a salary. I'm the employer and the employee. This house is a business that has multiple offices. Each room is an office. I got one downstairs. It's my studio office, square foot. It's its own private business. So this is like a portal. That's the way it's structured. So this is why I try to tell people over and over again, this is why you should join my Patreon. That's okay. That's what they do. That's what they do. But you let other people tell you, oh man, you ain't got 300,000 views like this guy. I'm like, maybe I know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm doing other things, you know? Now, these people who laughed at Dame Dash didn't realize he was trying to tell them that's how you protect your money. Rich people don't go to banks. They don't do that. Rich people have other people information. Like they have their own controller. You think they go in the line and wait in the bank for you? They don't do that stuff. They have all these other people out there making decisions. It's you know what it is, man? It becomes irrelevant to most because you're in a situation where you look at it and you don't believe what you're seeing. You just there to see him go at Charlamagne. And what he said about Charlamagne and the whole platform is like, y'all do a disservice. Y'all should be trying to uplift right now. And he said, I could make another announcement. I'm right now finna bring both of my shows. I got 2 shows that I'm finna bring to Revolt. And then I'm in a position where I can own Revolt. He wants to own, Revolt, period. I mean, seriously, he wants to own Revolt. And then he said he tried to buy BET too. What he meant was he couldn't buy, there's no way he could afford the entire BET. What he was going to do is buy a portion of the catalog. It's in a multi-layered corporation, BET is. There's a lot of companies within BET. So only a portion of it Dame would have been able to buy. He would have owned certain percentage into BET, not buy the entire BET as a whole. But here's Viacom owns BET. Yes, it owns the majority of BET. But what you don't understand is that BET was up for sale, and then they decided we're just gonna hold on to it because nobody was gonna take it when it's at pretty much a loss and they don't have control over content. So Tyler Perry has a piece. He was trying to take over another part of the BET catalog, but no, that wasn't going to happen. Now, what Charlamagne was doing was talking about things he didn't know about. What Dame was trying to do was enlighten them to see, you're in this room every day, right? And you got to come to work every day. You got to get up. So are you rich? I'm a man with no debt. If somebody loaned somebody 180 million, like he said, somebody loaned somebody 180 million. Are they rich? Are they rich? No, they owe $186 million. Right? Now, here's the thing. Because I want to be clear about it. Because I want people to understand it when I say it clearly. He has no debt, and he's like, I got no debt, and let's say I got 5 million. Or no debt at all. I'm cleared of my debts. And then they can't sue me again. But he could sue them. You see what I'm saying? He's trying to understand the same thing he said about Donald Trump. He said Donald Trump filed for bankruptcy like 6, 7, 8 times, right? And now he's a billionaire and he's the president of the United States. And you said, he's not a good businessman. That just shows that you're dumb. I just told you the man filed for bankruptcy 6, 7, 8 times. He's now a billionaire and is the president of the United States of America. And you telling me he's not a good businessman just tells me you're not bright. Dame was trying to give them game, and the smart people heard Dame because the smart people already knew what he was talking about. Like he says, you guys got to come up here in this small, cramped up office. All the rooms are black. You can't even see anything. It's so dark. Hit the like button, y'all. There's no windows up in here, nothing. Right, exactly. He's like, dog, ain't no windows up in here. It's all black. It's stink. It's all cramped up in here. He's like, dog, look. Y'all got to get up every day and come up in here. Every day they got to get up and walk back in that room. Seriously. Every single day they got to keep doing the same thing over and over. They got to get up. They got to walk into that office and they have to continuously go through the same routine every day, Monday through Friday. But you got millions of dollars, right? They pay Envy millions. They pay Charlamagne millions. Right? They supposed to be rich. He's like, y'all rich, right? Is that rich? That you work 20, 30 years at the same job and you can't pick when you want to work and do what you want to do when you want to do it? Is that what rich people do? He's trying to enlighten you, Charlamagne, that you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about a whole different ball game. You're talking about it from an employee standpoint. Oh, like, oh, he just got a record company and the record company went down. Dame is in a whole different ball game. He's trying to tell you about. Now they trying to say, oh, it came out, Dame Dash lied. They put out a statement. Revolt said Dame Dash was not gonna own Revolt, and he's not the chairman of Revolt, because that got a lot of people in here upset. Why would that get people upset? I'm finna go into that. Because Dame Dash put out some things that told the public in the world that he was telling the truth about what he was saying, because he was in communication and he did inquire about ownership as he was in negotiations with them. Now, why did they feel a need to come out and say that Dame Dash was lying? It's because of the simple fact that they said they had people in there that didn't like the fact that Dame Dash was going to be the chairman. What Dame should have did, and this is the mistake Dame Dash did, is that he leaked something that he shouldn't have leaked. He bragged on it before it happens. You got to keep your mouth shut. This is what billionaires do. They keep their mouth shut until the deal is done. You see how Dr. Dre cost him millions in that Apple deal because he almost blew it. All he had to do was keep his mouth shut the Monday, and he told Tyrese, and they go live on Instagram and almost screw up the whole bag by making the deal public before it's finished. That almost interfered with some things that they had going on. You keep your mouth shut until the deal is done. Now, Jay is going to block it. Rock Nation is going to block that. They're not going to work with Revolt if Revolt going to do that. Oh, y'all going to put Dame Dash in charge and make him chairman? Oh, no, you can't. That ain't happening. So, of course, they're going to put out a statement. Dame Dash is not the chairman. We are not dealing with Dame Dash. You see how that worked? Like Charlamagne put out the Black Effect, right? To promote Black podcasts. Ask those black podcasters how much that company has helped them. Oh, y'all, we're going to put you on the Black Effect. So this for Black podcasters. This is my thing. It's not yours, Charlamagne. You own 51%. 49% is owned by iHeartRadio. Why did they take 49 and give you 51? Because all of the responsibilities are on you. They just going to help finance it, but they're going to say it's yours. So any problems, any lawsuits go down, your name going to be highlighted. Charlamagne's Black Effect. Meanwhile, their logo is on. That's all they want. You see, the family office was created by the Rockefeller family. You know, not Rockefeller Records, but, you know, Rockefeller. He had the system in place to keep his family rich. So it goes down generations, different generations, from your generation to your kids to your grandkids. Some family offices, the kids squander the whole fortune, and next thing you know, everything they tried turns into nothing. Now, there are different layers to the family office. Like you can have it where they can go out and borrow money, like basically take a loan, and that's how Rockefeller structured it. So saying, okay, look, you will be out of the family office, you know, and it's basically they have like a family bank, but it's not bank. It's like a limited partnership almost. So you're like limited partners almost in a fund that's attached to the family office, which branches you out and say, okay, we're going to give you this money to start your business or whatever. Now, the only way you can get back into the family office is you got to pay back whatever money they loaned you, right? If you don't pay that back, you don't get back in. So you're going to have to be able to pay that back. Ain't nothing we could say or do about it. So that forces you to go out and be an entrepreneur and earn. You see what I'm saying? There's a whole different entity in place when you're able to create space for yourself, to create and do other things. Imagine what would happen with you if you had nothing but time on your side. No, I don't have enough yet for the family office. When I do, guess what? Guess what I would have? That's what I'm saying. If they let the wrong people win the lotto, because if you win the lotto, there's no way you should be broke. The only way that these people go broke is because they don't have financial information. They never did. First thing they do is go buy some house they can't afford. Well, the thing is people love attention. And when you give them the right attention, they'll take advantage of it. They'll take it all the way to the end of time. Oh, well, the fact that he called Charlamagne gay, a lot of gay people didn't like that, and a lot of gay people work at iHeartRadio, Breakfast Club, and Revolt, and all these other companies. So when he said it, he said it as because he's gay in a negative tone. So that's not going to go over well with businesses and corporations and things of that nature. But yeah, for black men, we got it. We don't, him and Envy over there trying to pretend and play like they're a gay couple on the radio, not masculine and not doing things that are masculine for a black man on radio. That's not cool. That's a prime example of what they want you to do. They're paying you to be docile. They're paying you to be like that. Same thing Kevin Hunter was talking about. I don't deal with Cam. Cameron is a businessman, and I didn't want to mess up his business. But I watch It Is What It Is basically because of Mace. See, the thing about Cam is he's slimy. He do slimy things. And I mean, I get a laugh out of Cam. He's funny, but he do a lot of slimy things. No, Cam ain't gay. But he do a lot of slimy things, man. He goes real corporate. He'll say one thing in your face and then say another thing behind your back. And then when you confront him on it, he just apologized and was, oh man, I was tripping. I was hot. So, forgive me, and still try to be your boy. And this is what everything he had pretty much fell down. Every business he had pretty much failed. But he was smart enough to get into these businesses. Like, Cam wants you. want you to believe he's this big street goon, and he never was. He was surrounded by them, but he was never one of them. You don't never hear Cam was in the streets getting it in. He was doing this and that. All they say, oh, Cam was a hustler. Cam was moving this and Cam was moving that. Like Dayton was telling you, like, man, Cam was never doing nothing. He was never on the blocks doing nothing. That's what he was saying. Cam wasn't on no blocks. He was like, man, we used to basically give Cam bags as when he was shorty and say, hey, go drop this off at Jay-Z's crib. That was it. They was kids. They could ride around in the cars. They ain't gonna bother y'all. And he gave them $600. That's what Cam even said it. Dame Dash gave us $600, a week. Man, that's like $2 million for us in the streets. Yo, he gave us like $2 million, kid. Straight up. Yo, I said, yo, Dame, I can't do that, son. Then he told my dog, you had to go to Ohio to start doing that. Dog, he was in his 30s selling bricks. You know what I'm saying? It's like selling work. And they weren't even selling work like that. You know what I'm saying? It was entirely different. When Dipset had they run, and in the middle of they run, Cam stopped the whole run to go take care of his mom because she was sick. So he took her to Orlando to give her the best care she could do. So he was out there, he was in the middle of a beef with 50 Cent. The whole thing was going crazy. No, Cam was never a kingpin. People would walk right up on Cam, and that's what I'm saying. Dipset was never a unit. They was a bunch of individuals together. Everybody had their own plan. Cam owned all their contracts. He was basically the landlord. He signed Jewels, got him to a deal with Def Jam, and Def Jam wanted Cam out the picture. So that's how he got over there. And Cam was like, all right, give me $2 million and, you can have it. I'm done. And he was like, dog, man, you cost me $2 million. You made all this money so I can get out the deal, man. You supposed to just let me go. He was like, man, all the money I invested in you and I built you up. All right, Jewels. But like he said, Def Jam was mad because what they got was a syruped up Jewels. And he told his mom, Jewel's mom, I can't deal with him no more because all he wants to do is sip syrup all day. Like he from Houston. I can't work with him. He hanging out with Lil Wayne, sipping cups all day. I can't deal with him. So when Cam came up and started hustling, by that time, he was rapping. You know what I'm saying? Cam was rapping in. And they still wasn't no big time dealers. They was making a little bit of money, but not like that. Cam money came from record deals. Which got him around all these hustlers. Right? It got him around all these other people. And a lot of incidents happened around him. Like, I know people that used to mess with Dipset. But they was buying purple off of them. Like, everybody was wanting to smoke purple. So they was getting the purple weed from New York. And they would bring it up here. So they was part of Dipset. My boy used to cop from them. So that's how he had on but I think he was dealing with Jimmy Jones people, like the Bird Gang. people, and he was just thinking they Dipset and all that, but he just called it all Dipset. And I'm like, dog, why are they so flashy? like, dog, why are you in here doing a doggone deal with a damn rhinestone damn jacket? A purple rhinestone jacket. I'm like, what the hell is this dude doing? He's standing sticking out like a sore thumb. Exactly. So once again, when you start talking about Cam, right, and what he's talking about with Dame, he was like, yo, Dame, look, I said I'll help get your shows on Revolt. I'll walk you through the door. But they booked until 2026. And I got 2 spots for 2 shows. And I said I'll take your shows, but I gotta be the executive producer because you did get me out my record deal, and I put you as executive producer on my albums, on both my albums. I said, all right, you executive producer. I gave you your EP credits on the albums. But all I said was, all right, let me EP the show. First, he said it's cool. Then he came back and said, nah, I'm the Don. How could I let Cam EP my show? So he was like, look, the ball was in your court and you blew it. But yeah, that sounds like something Dame Dash would say. So I don't doubt that. Oh yeah, Jamie, you were you were the only person asking me to review that movie. You gotta review this movie. You gotta review The Long Walk, man. You gotta watch The Long Walk. Yes, I watched The Long Walk. It was great. I did a movie review on my Screen Fiend channel. It should be up already. Yeah, it's Demon Slayer today. Now, when people have different interpretations as to what's going on or what's happening, they need to basically let people know when they handle things or they handle business. For this man that helped you out in the past, for you to have this type of disrespect just to, get views and to promote your show is crazy. See, what Cam did is he's trying to promote another show. It is what it is basically, that's the basic show. That's like the Club Shay Shay type show he wants to make, right? It is what it is. Then he steps off and does his own thing where he can get ratchet. And Mace ain't gonna be on that show because Mace is like, nah, I ain't doing that. Mace is like, no, I don't want that toxic energy. That's why I don't want to go down that road. So that's when Talk with Flea came, his podcast show that he got. And that's what he put most of his energy towards. He puts most of his energy towards Talk with Flea. And I'm telling y'all, in the next couple of years, Mace and Cam would eventually split from It Is What It Is. It's going to happen. Cam is basically, he show up there to do the show, but Talk with Flea is what he's trying to build right now. And because he got that show on a deal with Revolt. So now that show is on Revolt, and all of this is trying to be, I don't know, what movie was trash. Of course, it didn't have a budget. He ain't had no money he could really put into that. Because you ain't going to burn through your money that you got in your family office. But people need to stop acting as if, this man don't have detractors. He don't have Leo Cohen trying to hold him back. He ain't got Jay-Z trying to hold him back. Everybody in Dame's life has been sitting there trying to hold him back. And for what reason? On or up, I knew the message they was trying to get to, but it was a colluded mess because they didn't have the money. Kanye West had to come in and loan them money to finish the movie. And, they backed it up with merch, because he did give Kanye an opportunity. So Kanye got in there and he headlined the merch where he got paid off the merch. So Dame loved the fact Kanye came back. And he always helped out these dudes, you know what I'm saying, from the streets. Yeah, he gave them opportunities because they didn't know what was going on. Now, Kanye stayed burning money. What you say, Lee? He said, "Why did Jay redo Pac's song?" You talking about me and my girlfriend? I already told y'all why he did that. That was part of the deal after he got shook up and shook over and shook down by Suge Knight. That ended up being the damn lead single of the album. But it was more than that. That song belonged to somebody else first. And they did the song with the Me and My Girlfriend. And they did that song, and Jay-Z jacked that for him and Beyonce. We've already covered that. Now, right. Now, I'm not gonna say they sat him in the chair, put the rope around Jay-Z, put the gag around his mouth. You know how Suge exaggerates, but he was detained. Let's just say Jay-Z was detained in his hotel room. And Dr. Dre didn't protect him at all. Dre skipped out and left Jay there. He thought he was under false sense of security that he was cool. You see, Dame did not come with him. He came on his own with Tata and all these lightweight people and was sitting courtside with Dr. Dre at the game. After that was over, Dre went his way, Jay went his way. But he thought, Dre gonna make sure I'm straight because I'm out here in LA with him. And Jay ain't had no pull in LA really like that, meaning like in the industry. Where to go, who to take, escort him. It ain't like now, he don't need Dre for nothing. But this taught him a very valuable lesson about how to move into other people's towns. And you don't really, that person ain't plugged in with the streets, and Dre was detained and he got up, Suge, and talked to him on the phone. Mm. You ain't lying, Corey. Now, here's the thing about Dame Dash that these people really don't understand, that they keep saying they do, but they really don't. And the perspectives is this. When Dame Dash came out and did his thing, nobody was saying anything negative about Dame Dash. Not one person came out and said anything negative about Dame. All of a sudden, Dame Dash is doing his thing, right? And he's trying to get himself to come back into prominence. Everyone comes around and tries to knock him down. You understand? Everyone tries to knock him down. From Jay-Z's influence, Leora Cohen's influence. Those two people are very powerful, and they're going to make sure Dame does not come back into power. Right? Dame had a successful art gallery. Now, all of a sudden, Jay-Z, all he does is steal from people. All he does is steal and mimic people's moves. Dame Dash was the one that had the doggone art galleries. He was the one in the art. Jay-Z didn't know a damn thing about art. He got into it because Rachel Roy was into art, and he built some art studios, and they were very successful. And he knew that's how you get the billionaires into the room. That's how the people with real money move. They want to buy art. So you got an art collection, an art gallery, and all of these different things. Jay-Z see that now. He Picasso, baby. Now he's Picasso, baby. And now he everything is about Euro art now and art galleries. Because he knew that's where the real money was at, how the real billionaires is moving their funds and their wealth around. Dame Dash had $200 million businesses. That art gallery was worth over $100 million with Rachel Roy. All of a sudden, Rachel Roy wants a divorce. She wants to split from Dame Dash. And she's rumored to be sleeping with Jay-Z. Yeah, Becky with the good hair. Yeah, everybody know that was Rachel Roy. They got into the fight at the Met Gala because that's the one that Jay and Beyonce had broken up. See, everything I said get validated. I've been told y'all that. When he did that Kingdom Come album, he wasn't with Beyonce. That's why he did the Lost one. Because Jay couldn't stop cheating. So this is before they got together and got married. Then when they got married, he went right back to cheating and started messing with Rachel Roy. They're going to make a song dissing her, talking about my beach is better. If your beach was better, then why you keep going to that beach? You was doing it to try to hurt Dame. Tell Lucky Lefty, kiss the wife goodbye. He put that he dissing Dame Dash in his rap. On that Kingdom Come album. That's why it flopped. You got Rachel Roy out there to leave Dame, showing her that y'all could take her to the next level. Y'all want to rep her and everything else. Now it almost ruined your marriage. He said, good night, you mean? Yeah, whatever. Tell Lucky Lefty, kiss the wife good night. Right, exactly. He was going through financial troubles because Dame was hard to deal with. You know, there's reasons why Dame is the way he is. You know, and he really needs therapy. You know, for emotional trauma that's been there since childhood. And we'll go into that on the Patreon. He didn't lie about the revolt thing. See, that's what y'all don't really understand. He's not lying. Why would Dame Dash go on a radio show and say that brazenly if it was a lie? He showed the email confirmations between them, their conversation. He asked about ownership, and they were all in. You gotta understand how business works. These people got calls. Once Dame said that on the radio, those people got calls. You working with Dame Dash? You think Rock Nation didn't hit up Revolt and say, "Oh, we not working with y'all no more"? If y'all gonna work, if Dame Dash is y'all chairman, oh, we ain't working with y'all no more. Now all of a sudden, all that's gone. All that talk is out of there. Well, thank you, Jeremy. That is the thing to do. No joke. Especially if you want to learn about this business. So we've been letting everybody know what's up. Yeah, you think that all of these people that don't like Dame Dash and trying to keep him out of the business did not contact Revolt and say this, and that, and this? You know, Dame knows better. You don't talk to the ink dries. You got enemies out here. You don't tell nobody your moves. That's crazy. So that was a critical mistake on Dame Dash's part because he could have gotten it. And he says, I want to inquire about ownership. That's right, Richie. I'm helping people get employed on my Patreon. He said, I'm a Jay fan. I hated that album. You want the only one. That's why Just Blaze got fired from working with Jay. You know, and he went over there 100% to Kanye West. He's not the chairman. No, he was going to be the chairman. That was in discussions. He's going to be a chairperson. But it never got to be. No, the CEO of Revolt TV didn't play Dame. Dame played himself because he revealed his hand. Now they can't deal with you. You see, because that's going to upset the people they knew. Had the deal been done already, it's going to be like, well, it's too late. We've already done this deal. We didn't know that y'all had a problem like that. I thought you didn't deal with Dame Dash. Like it wasn't a problem. We finna do this deal. This is why, you know, rest in peace to Irv Gotti, him and Dame Dash fell out. Dame is too much into his emotions, and he's very smart. He's a very smart man, but his emotions is way too high to be put in these situations. Because he always wants, he's from Harlem, man. And Harlem dudes are the most flashiest dudes I know in New York. They want to show you they got the shirt with the cuff out, so they want to show you they watch. You know, they're gonna tuck the shirt in the front so you can see the belt buckle. You can see what belt they got. They want you to know what they got. They be rolling up pants legs just so you can see the socks. Yo, these $50 socks, B. Right. They flashy. And if anybody who's not flashy in Harlem, they broke and they get just roasted. He said, you could be right. I think the employees are the majority shareholders of Revolt, if I'm not mistaken. Bad move, Dame. That is exactly correct. So Dame Dash could easily become a chairperson into the company. Now, the thing of the nature is that's not going to happen now. So that whole thing is done. But he got other deals he's probably working on, but that one is dead in the waters. But one thing is common is Dame Dash moves the unit. He moves the needle. Whenever Dame is doing something, Dame Dash name is ringing bells. He moves the needle even on social media. So everybody keeps coming back to Dame. They're going to want Dame to do this, Dame to do that. When he did Breakfast Club, I told you, this is the biggest interview they've done in probably 2 years. That's why they're trying to milk it today, coming back and saying, oh, we're going to follow up. He's talking about he's going to sue us. He's going to sue this person. He's going to sue that person. I mean, sue him for what? Like, I got a whole video about Cam and Adrian Broner. Y'all haven't even seen it yet. I was like, really, Cam? You know, I'm saying, here's the thing that really got me hot about the whole situation. And it got a lot of other people hot too. People from Memphis was hot. But it was the whole social media thing. It went backfired on Cam. Cam is the type of person who do something, it backfires, then he want to apologize. How many times have he done that within the past 2-3 months? To let you know that he's doing it as a strategy to promote. That's all he's doing. He's doing marketing and promotion. He said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it out this way so the whole world can see it. Then I'm going to come and tear it down. Cam was wrong for that. And here's why Cam was wrong with that. If AB was drunk when you put him on your show, you didn't have a guest for the show, you don't do the show. Or you get somebody else to do the show. You put him on there and you want to use him for his content. And was like, that's all, I don't even deal with that clown. You know, he a junkie. You call him an alcoholic and a junkie. When he left, but you dapped him up, you gave him a hug, you gave him his money, said, yeah, man, I love you, man. Just take care, man. Right? But then as soon as he leave, you turn into do what Cam does. And that lets you know Cam's character right there. Yeah, he was drunk, but you chose to put him on his air. Look, I'm sitting at home and know AB drunk. So if I'm sitting at home and I'm watching it and I'm like, man, he drunk. You didn't know he was drunk. You chose to put him on the show anyway. Drunk. So here you is calling him the junkie and the alcoholic and all of this, but you in here trying to profit off his pain. That's you. So it ain't on AB, it's you, because you shouldn't have never put him in that situation. If I got somebody that I know is drunk all the time and make foolish mistakes, I'm not going to keep them around people that I know that's going to turn into a scene. But I want to get some attention off of it. I would have great content if I go and get my Uncle Frank and say, Uncle Frank, I'm going to just go live. I just hit the button and let my Uncle Frank go. You going to have content for years. But now I'm exploiting Uncle Frank. You feel me? You see how that worked? So that's why Cam apologized, because he went left. If everybody was like, Cam was right, Cam was right, Cam was right, then once it came out and they showed he's a scumbag who would go behind somebody's back and start talking crazy after hugging and dapping them up and giving them some money and embarrassing them on air, like, you got to leave, bro. Because I already told you, man, and you did it again, bro. It's like, dude, you knew this dude was drunk when you brought him in there. And you gave him some paper and you sent them out for what you said you would, and you wanted to do it all on the air. And then you're going to talk crazy about the man once he gone. Talking about her boyfriend right here. He didn't know that. You could have said that and be like, dog, all right, now you know her boyfriend here. Cut it out. Like, for real. Just cut it out. If you do it again, it's over. The interview's over. But the way he did that, now he got the content he wants. Because now he got, oh, man, he threw AB out. Now that become the content of the whole day. Is that he threw out AB. So now everybody is there for that moment. They never gonna see it the right way. Yeah, so tonight, we're gonna do the Dame Dash breakdown, y'all. We're gonna break this whole thing down for y'all. Yes, sir. We're gonna break the whole thing down for y'all. I absolutely do. Yes, we're gonna break it down for you. So therefore, you're gonna understand the reason why Dame Dash is the way he is. And why he's so temperamental, why he needs therapy. We're gonna go into that. He definitely needs therapy. And I love it because he explained to Charlamagne things that he should be scratching his head saying, yeah, I have been here 30 years. Why I don't have this? Why don't I have this? Why do I got to keep doing this? And I've been doing this for 30 years. Why? Why don't I have this? If I got such a large platform and I'm Charlamagne the God, why am I a peon? Why am I not in a position to dictate when I work, how I work, and what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we'll get into that on the Patreon. Thank everybody in here for hitting the like button up. Everybody who came in saying all of these things, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep it real. Y'all are the ones that keep this thing going, man. So when y'all on that Patreon, we hit y'all with 5 things yesterday. Just go to the search engine on there. You'll see everything you need to see on there. So definitely. Our organization put the No Kid Dying to Shy charity foundation. We put that together. We helped put that together. The Nate Jones Foundation. We partnered with them because that's my boy Nate Jones. I come out and support him. with Seward Park. We down in the Cabrini Greens. Absolutely. So all of that is over there, because we got to give back. We got the Saginaw STEM program that's still going on that they said was a scam, just said it just to say something. Because Black people just got to say something negative, right? That ain't a scam. That's real. That's been going on. It's been getting held down. So definitely, man, we just out here making it happen. And we out.